Hi again, year six. Right, a bit of technical difficulties. So if you have not watched the video yet, you go back to the year six page on Selfdale website and click the link that says English part two. Once you've watched the video, come back and click this link. So hopefully you're back after watching the video at least once. I do suggest to go back and watch it a couple more times. I hope you enjoyed it, and I know you are going to do some fantastic writing from it. Right, when we plan a story, it can seem a little bit overwhelming if you take it in one big chunk. So the best way to plan it is to go down to the bare bones of the story. So I've done a few little sections for you, and I'm going to quickly talk through what each section needs to have. So the first scene, it is snowing. Okay, and it shows you the greyness of the rooftops and the snow. So you might need to think in this bit, how can you describe how the snow is falling? Is it dancing? Is it swirling? Has it dusted the rooftops? Is it falling on the hard frosty ground? Is it falling silently? Then our next part of the story, so we've got it snowing, and we have Alma skips through the town. So this is where we introduce our character Alma. She's a happy little girl. So how is she skipping through the town? Is she crunching in the snow? Is she throwing snowballs against the wall? Is she humming a tune to herself? And look at the bit I've just frozen on. We've got these posters here on the wall. I wonder what those posters are of. There's quite a few little bits. If you watch carefully, you will see a few little clues in the film. So we've got it's snowing, Alma skips through the town. So the next part is she writes her name on a chalkboard. So this is a perfect chance for you to get some description in. Describe the chalkboard to your reader. Is it absolutely covered in names? Are they names of children? Are they written in different types of handwriting? And how does Alma feel as she's writing her name? How does she feel after she's written her name? Does she say it out loud? Alma, she says, placing the chalk down, feeling proud that her name was amongst the others. Okay, so our next part, snowing, she skipped through the town, she's written her name on the chalkboard. So now's the part where we get it's a little bit spooky. Now she hears a noise and she sees the doll that looks exactly like her in the shop window. So our first part is to describe that noise. Is it an eerie creak? Does a shiver run down her spine as she turns to look at this shop? Shop she's perhaps not noticed before. Look at the windows. Could we describe that monstrous face of the shop? As she stepped closer, realizing that in the window there's a doll, but the doll is wearing the exact same clothes as her, the exact same blue bobble hat, and has the exact same eyes staring back at her. How does she feel then? Does she need to get into the shop to see her doll? She looks down and it's disappeared. Was it truly there? So our next part is she tries to get into the shop. So after she realizes the doll has disappeared, how does she walk over to the door? How does she tug on that door handle? And how does she feel when the door doesn't open? So you could have frustrated Alma stomped away from the shop, picking up a ball of snow and throwing it against the wall. And then we have the part where the door opens, she goes into the shop and she touches the doll. So how does that door open? Does it creak slowly open? What's the shop like inside? Does it smell musty? Is there a coating of dust over everything? How does she feel when she sees her doll on that shelf high up? Why does she need to touch it? Can we make that bit last where she's reaching higher and a little bit higher and get some repetition in? And then what happens once she has touched the doll? And that basically there is your story. If you look at the success criteria and our examples of excellence, they will help you. But if we break it down into its parts again, you are describing it is snowing. Alma skips through the town. She writes her name on a chalkboard. She hears a noise. She sees a doll that looks exactly like her in the shop window. She tries to get into the shop. The door opens. She goes in and she touches the doll. So year 6, this bit of writing you are going to do in your science books. There is an example of excellence, which is on the year 6 website. The success criteria is also there. I am also trying to upload a video of year 6 from a couple of years ago telling their own Alma stories, where they have got pictures and they've made it into an iMovie and they have recorded their story on top of the pictures. If you'd like to do that, if you type in images Alma Literacy Shed and copy some of them into iMovie, you could record your story over the top. We do want to see these stories by Friday, so there's a few ways you can do that. You could take a photo and email it to your teacher, or even better, a photo and upload it to Twitter, or even better than that, record yourself telling the story and either email it to your teacher or upload it to Twitter. Okay, we'll be coming back on Wednesday with some more tips for your writing.